Seniors. This morning food hack could supercharge circulation down there. Do you know in the US alone, 1 in 4 men over 60 experience poor circulation and performance issues? Not because of aging, but because of nutritional habits that damage blood flow over time. And here's the shocking part. A simple food you probably already have in your fridge could help reverse it in days, if eaten the right way. If you're a man over 60, and you've started noticing something's just different, you're not alone. Maybe you wake up and your legs feel heavy. Or perhaps your morning energy isn't what it used to be. You find yourself standing at the sink, brushing your teeth, and wondering, is this just aging, or is something else happening to me? Now, let me ask you something personal. And I ask this with care and compassion. When was the last time you woke up with a sense of vitality down there? For many of the men I've spoken to over the years, strong, capable, proud men, the answer is either a long time ago or silence. But what if I told you that your body might not be the problem? What if it's your breakfast? Yes, the first thing you put in your mouth each morning might be quietly weakening your circulation, especially in the areas that matter most to your manhood. I'm talking about the health of your blood vessels, your pelvic muscles, your hormonal signals, and yes, your ability to feel alive as a man. My name is Dr. Anthony, and I've spent over 30 years helping men across the country reclaim their energy, confidence, and function, especially after 60. And what I discovered again and again was this. The single most overlooked trigger for declining male vitality isn't stress. It isn't medication. It's breakfast. See, your body is trying to heal, trying to repair. But it can't do that unless you give it the tools it needs, and those tools don't come in a prescription bottle. They come in the form of real, powerful foods that you already know but probably aren't using the right way. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 specific breakfast foods that, when eaten at the right time and in the right combination, can help restore blood flow, reduce numbness, support testosterone production, and even bring back that warm, confident energy you may not have felt in a while. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll reveal a simple morning combo that many of my patients say made a difference within just a few days. But before we dive in, I want to ask you a small question, and I'd love if you left your answer in the comments below. What's one thing you've done this week to support your health? Even something tiny. A walk, a stretch, drinking more water. Whatever it is, share it with us. This community is full of good men who are doing their best, and your words might encourage someone else to take that first step too. Also, if you appreciate real, science-backed advice like this, advice that's made for men like you, not 25-year-olds, then do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell. We'll take this journey together, one real solution at a time. Now, let's begin. I want you to imagine something with me. You open the fridge in the morning. You see a tub of plain yogurt. Maybe it's been sitting there for a few days. You think, just a snack. But what you don't realize is that this unassuming little tub could be your best ally in restoring circulation below the waist. You see, plain yogurt is nature's vascular repair tool, packed with live probiotics, high-quality protein, and a boost of calcium. But more importantly, it contains what I call morning-level nutrients. Nutrients that work best first thing, when your blood vessels are most receptive and your body is starving for balance. I remember one of my patients, James, 65 years old, came into my office feeling discouraged. "I don't get it, doc," he said. "I'm eating lighter. No junk food. But I just feel numb. Like I'm fading." When I asked him what he had for breakfast, he shrugged. "Just coffee, maybe toast." That's when I gave him the yogurt protocol. Nothing fancy. Just a cup of plain yogurt with a drizzle of raw honey, eaten slowly, within 30 minutes of waking. He did it daily for 4 weeks. When he returned, his words were, "I didn't think it was doing anything, until I woke up one morning and realized I felt like me again. His groin didn't feel cold. His legs didn't feel heavy. And yes, that vital signal that many men worry they've lost had returned. Now, yogurt is just the beginning. There are 4 more foods I'm going to show you, including one fruit that works like a natural Viagra, and another combo that stabilizes your nerves and circulation like nothing else I've seen. But I want you to remember this. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about starting, consistently, with just one thing. In the next part, I'll introduce you to a fruit that might be sitting in your fridge right now. But when timed correctly, it can open up blood flow in ways that surprise even me. Stay with me. You're not done. You're just getting started. Let's keep going. If you're still here, that tells me something about you. You're not the kind of man who gives up easily. You've probably been through a lot already. Maybe a couple surgeries, a few disappointments, a few quiet mornings that didn't go the way you hoped. And yet, here you are. Still listening. Still learning. Still wanting more from your life and from your body. That's something I deeply respect. Now let me introduce you to one of the most underestimated fruits in your entire kitchen. One that's not only delicious and refreshing, but powerful enough to support circulation, improve sensitivity, and even mimic the effects of certain prescription medications, without the side effects. I'm talking about pomegranates. I once had a patient named Michael, a 63-year-old retired engineer who came to me after his annual checkup. "Doc," he said, "my numbers look fine on paper, but I don't feel right. I've got less energy, my legs cramp at night, and intimacy? That's practically gone." I asked him about his habits. He told me his breakfast was usually just coffee and a newspaper. I smiled gently and said, "Let's add something red to your morning." He raised an eyebrow. "Like strawberries?" "No," I said. "Something stronger. Try half a cup of pomegranate seeds every morning, on an empty stomach, just for 2 weeks." He looked surprised. "Pomegranate? I thought that was a garnish for holiday cocktails." But here's what most people don't realize. Pomegranate is rich in polyphenol, a group of powerful antioxidants that boost nitric oxide, the very molecule that relaxes your blood vessels and increases blood flow, particularly to the pelvic region. That's the same biological pathway triggered by medications like Viagra, but this time, it's done naturally, with food. 2 weeks later, Michael called me. He laughed over the phone and said, "Doc, I don't know if it's the pomegranate or the fact that I'm actually eating breakfast now, but something is definitely awake again." I knew what he meant. That warmth in the lower belly. That light pressure in the groin. That quiet hum of energy, like something dormant had switched back on. It wasn't a miracle. It was science. And if you're ready to take it one step further, if you're looking to supercharge that nitric oxide response, improve blood flow, and feel more confident, then you need to hear about the next fruit on the list. It's big. It's juicy. And it's probably the most delicious circulatory enhancer nature ever designed. I'm talking about watermelons. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, watermelon? Really? Stay with me. This fruit isn't just for summer picnics. It's packed with citrulline, an amino acid that converts to arginine in your body. Arginine then boosts nitric oxide levels. Again, the key to opening up blood vessels and increasing flow where it counts. This means that when eaten early in the day, especially on an empty stomach, watermelon acts like a gentle, natural form of male support. No pills. No side effects. Just circulation. One of my patients, Leonard, 67, had been struggling with numbness in his feet and a fading sense of intimacy. When we tested his circulation, his numbers were borderline, not alarming, but not ideal either. I asked him to do something simple. swap out his usual banana for 2 slices of watermelon every morning before breakfast. That was it. 10 days later, he came back with a quiet smile. "Something feels different, Doc," he said. "It's subtle, but it's real." He didn't need to explain. His legs were more energized. His hands weren't as cold. And yes, he had felt a stir of something he thought he'd lost. Again, it wasn't magic. It was targeted nutrition, the kind your body understands because it comes from the earth. Now, you might be wondering, okay, blood flow is great, but what about testosterone? What about my energy, my motivation, my masculine drive? Well, that brings us to one of the most misunderstood but powerful morning foods out there. Eggs. I've lost count of how many men have told me, "I avoid eggs, document too much cholesterol, right?" And every time, I give them the same smile. Let me tell you the truth. Your body needs cholesterol, the good kind, to make testosterone, the very hormone that drives everything from energy and mood to libido and confidence. Eggs, particularly whole eggs, are a rich source of that good cholesterol, along with vitamin D, choline, and high-quality protein. All essential for hormonal balance in aging men. I'll never forget my patient Tom, a 70-year-old widower who said to me, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired. I've lost interest in things I used to enjoy. Even my voice feels weaker." His blood tests showed low testosterone, not surprising at his age. Instead of rushing to hormone therapy, I asked him to start with a simple shift. 2 boiled eggs with sea salt every morning, eaten alongside leafy greens. No toast. No sugar. Just real fuel. A month later, he called me and said, "I feel like someone turned the lights back on." It wasn't just his voice that changed. He started walking more. His sleep improved. His eyes had a little more spark. That's the power of feeding your body what it's truly asking for. Now, before I wrap up this part, I want to share one more simple yet powerful change that ties everything together. Not just blood flow, not just hormones, but overall stability. That grounded, steady feeling that makes you move with confidence throughout your day. And it comes from a creamy green fruit you've probably already tried before, but likely not in the way I'm about to describe. Avocado, drizzled with a little extra virgin olive oil. In the next part, I'll explain exactly why this combination matters so much, especially for older men, and how it supports not only circulation, but also nerve health, inflammation, and pelvic stability. We're building momentum now. Don't stop. You've made it this far, and the best is yet to come. Let's finish strong. You've already learned how something as simple as yogurt, pomegranate, watermelon, and eggs can quietly but powerfully begin to change how you feel. Not just in your legs or your gut, but in your identity as a man. Now it's time to talk about control. Because what many of my male patients tell me, even if they're too embarrassed to say it directly, is that what they're missing most is not just sensation or strength. It's control, stability, confidence that their body will do what they ask of it, without pain, without trembling, without leaning on the nightstand to get out of bed. That's why I always include this next breakfast edition, not just for circulation, but for balance, nerve support, and cellular repair. It's something that almost always makes them raise an eyebrow. Avocado with olive oil. Now I know, avocado toast has become a bit of a joke these days. But this isn't about trendy cafes or Instagram photos. This is about science. This is about giving your lower body, your legs, hips, pelvic floor, and yes, even your penis, the exact fats and nutrients it needs to function like it used to. Here's what's happening inside your body, whether you feel it or not. As we age, the arteries and nerves in the pelvis become less elastic. Inflammation builds up. Blood vessels narrow. Muscle fibers weaken. Your nervous system starts to short-circuit. You feel wobbly. You lose sensation. And slowly, you stop trusting your body. But avocado is packed with monounsaturated fats, the kind that help keep your blood vessels supple and open. It's also a rich source of potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure and supports muscular contraction. Add extra virgin olive oil, which contains natural anti-inflammatories like oleuropein, and you've got a powerful morning medicine. No pills. Just a green fruit and a golden oil. One of my patients, William, 72, former Army sergeant, told me, "Doctor, I can't feel my feet in the morning. I have to lean against the wall just to put on my socks." He had already tried stretching, massage, compression socks. Nothing worked. I gave him one simple instruction. Every morning, mash half an avocado in a bowl, drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle with black pepper and a pinch of sea salt. Eat it slowly. Chew it completely. Do this right after your first glass of warm water. He was skeptical. But 3 days later, I got a message. Document. My legs feel lighter. My balance is better. I stood up without holding on to anything today. It wasn't magic. It wasn't placebo. It was fuel. Real nutrients, delivered at the exact moment your blood vessels and nerves are at their most receptive. Early morning, after rest, before stress. Now listen closely, because this next part is where everything we've discussed comes together. When you begin your morning with real food, not just calories, but functional nutrition, your body starts to trust you again. You begin to rebuild that broken communication between brain, blood, and body. And that's why I recommend what I call the Vitality Combo, a simple morning sequence that combines all 5 of the foods we've discussed in a gentle, delicious way. Let me paint a picture. You wake up. You drink a glass of warm water with a splash of lemon to wake up your digestion. Then you sit down with a bowl of plain yogurt, topped with a handful of pomegranate seeds and a spoonful of fresh watermelon cubes. On the side, 2 boiled eggs with a bit of sea salt. And while you're eating, you slowly enjoy a small plate of mashed avocado with olive oil. That's it. No sugar. No toast. No cereal. Just 5 ingredients, each chosen to support a different piece of your body's recovery system. Yogurt for your muscles and microbiome. Pomegranate and watermelon for nitric oxide and blood flow. Eggs for testosterone and protein. Avocado and olive oil for vascular elasticity and nerve support. I've seen men who hadn't had a strong erection in years tell me that within 10 days of this breakfast routine, something woke up. Not just physically but mentally. Their posture changed. Their energy returned. They looked at their wives or partners with that old spark again, and the partner noticed, too. And here's the best part. This isn't temporary. This isn't a one-time boost. This is your new foundation. Because when you start your morning by nourishing the parts of you that are quietly crying out for help, your entire day changes. You walk differently. You feel differently. And yes, you perform differently. So no matter where you are right now, whether you've already started slipping or you're just starting to notice the changes, know this. It is not too late. But also, it's not automatic. That's why in the final part of this video, I'm going to walk you through how to stay consistent, how to troubleshoot common mistakes men make, and how to listen to your body when it begins to speak again, because it will speak. You just have to give it the chance. You've made it this far, and I'm proud of you. Let's finish together. Let's take a deep breath together. You've made it through a lot, not just this video, but probably more than a few tough mornings, quiet disappointments, or lonely evenings wondering if your best days were behind you. But now you know the truth. It was never about getting old. It was about giving your body what it needs, and doing it at the right time. You now have a set of tools in your hands. Yogurt, pomegranate, watermelon, eggs, avocado with olive oil, Simple foods. But when used right, they speak a language your body still understands, even after 60, 70, or 80. Now the question becomes, can you stay consistent? Can you make this more than a try-it-once experiment and actually turn it into a ritual, a gift you give your body every single morning? Because here's what I've learned after helping men for over 3 decades. Your body wants to heal. Your blood vessels want to open. Your muscles want to strengthen. Your hormones want to balance. But it can't do that if you're skipping breakfast, reaching for processed carbs, or waiting until you already feel weak before acting. You have to lead. You have to make the first move. And the beauty of it is, that move is so small. It's not painful. It doesn't require a gym membership. It doesn't demand a prescription. It just asks for one quiet choice. Eat with purpose. First thing in the morning. Before the day pulls you in 1,000 directions. I often tell my patients, don't let your first meal of the day be an afterthought. Let it be your strategy. Now, you might not feel results overnight. That's okay. Sometimes, the first sign is subtle. A little more warmth in your legs, a better night's sleep, or a slight shift in your mood. Sometimes it's more obvious. You stand taller, walk longer. Feel that familiar tingle of desire in the early morning. Whatever your result is, the key is to keep going. I've had patients see changes in just 3 days. Others took a week. For some, it was gradual, but by the end of 1 month, they were telling me things like, I'm sleeping better. My knees don't ache. I feel more like myself again. And perhaps the one I hear the most, with quiet gratitude, I didn't think this was possible. But it is. It absolutely is. And if you're sitting there thinking, is it too late for me? Let me answer that directly. No. It's not too late. I've worked with men in their late 80s who are able to improve their energy, intimacy, circulation, and confidence, all by committing to a single morning routine. I've seen men who were ready to give up become the strongest they'd been in a decade, not by doing more, but by doing less, more deliberately. You don't need a dozen supplements. You don't need to suffer. You need breakfast, real, targeted, powerful breakfast. So tomorrow, when you wake up, I want you to choose. Will you skip your meal, pour a cup of coffee, and hope for the best? Or will you do something that sends a clear message to your body? I'm here. I care. And I'm not giving up on you. Let it start with that first bite of yogurt, that juicy spoonful of pomegranate, that soft-boiled egg, that creamy avocado with golden oil. These are not just foods. They are reminders that you're still alive, still capable, still becoming. This is not the end. This is breakfast. And breakfast is your beginning. You're not broken. You're rebuilding. And I'm honored to walk beside you as you do. Now if you found value in this message, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know, which of the 5 foods are you going to start with tomorrow morning? Yogurt? Avocado? Maybe you'll try the full vitality combo? And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, I share real, practical insights for men over 60, because you deserve advice made for you, not a 25-year-old influencer. So let's keep going. You've taken the first step. Now take the second. Let breakfast be your comeback. And never forget, you're still in the game.